Most people today read the scriptures through a Western Greek-influenced mindset, but the word wasn't written that way. To rightly understand it, we must return to a Hebraic mindset in which it was given. Hebraic thought is concrete, not abstract. It doesn't rely on vague ideas or lofty philosophy. Instead, it uses physical objects, things you can see, touch, and do to teach spiritual truth. Words like walk, path, seed, house, tree, shepherd, and door. These are visual, earthly building blocks of Hebrew thought. Scripture is not theoretical. It's visual, action-based, and simple. Greek thought is abstract, intellectual. It breaks things down into categories and theories, often divorced from the real life. This shift in thinking is one of the greatest reasons why people today misunderstand the scriptures. But Yahu'ah does not speak in abstract confusion. He speaks in clear patterns, actions, symbols, and commands that we are meant to live out. He always speaks with purpose and always expects a response. To truly understand scriptures, we must return to the language and mindset of the covenant. That means stepping away from the Western theology and returning to the Hebraic foundation that was there from the beginning. When we do that, when we return to the way Yahushua and his apostles taught, the scriptures come alive, and the confusion begins to fade away, and the voice of the shepherd becomes clear once again. When we study the scriptures, we must begin with the fundamental truth. Language matters. Not just any language, but the original languages in which Yahuwah chose to reveal his word. Scripture wasn't written in English. That may sound obvious, but it's a critical point that is often ignored. English translations, no matter how well intentioned, are not the original inspired text. They are interpretations, and sometimes they carry inherited errors, bias, or even deliberate manipulations. The original languages of the scriptures are Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, and each of these carries layers of depth, prophetic symbolism, cultural meaning, covenant structure that simply cannot be fully captured in English. When we return to the original text, when we study the root words, the grammar, the idioms, the structure, we gain clarity. Studying the original brings clarity. It removes confusion, resolves contradictions, and uncovers truths that have been lost in translation. This is why we say return to the language of covenant to know the truth. If the covenant was originally given in Hebrew, then the key to understanding that covenant is hidden in the Hebrew itself, specifically in the Torah, the prophets, and the writings. Yahuwah and the apostle did not teach in isolation or in Greek philosophy. They taught in context, using the language, the mindset, and the framework of Torah. To follow them, we must do the same. That's why we do not just look at doctrines. We go back to the beginning. We go back to the language of the kingdom, because only when we study scripture through the lens Yahuwah gave us can we truly understand his word.